Northwood University, Minnesota State, another play-in for a playoff spot. You got the number 2 seed in Northwood and the number 3 seed in Minnesota. I want to hear a little bit about these two, Jesse. Let's look at this head-to-head and break down these teams.
Yeah, I mean, the last time these two teams played, it was a very, very close matchup between them. It was a 3-1 victory for the likes of Northwood University, coming in as our second seed, and that 3-1 victory is actually what gives them the second seed over Minnesota State, with both of them coming through with losses to the likes of Illinois State as well. So when you're looking at this overall head-to-head between these two teams, the big thing when you go into this is that they both split hard points in the last series. It was 2 maps that really kind of went the favor of Northwood that really gave them the win. That was a Miami Search and Destroy and a checkmate hard point in the middle, but both of them super close. Both hard points very close as well. And I mean, if I'm being completely honest with you, Colin, and I'm looking over this series, I really think we're about to get a full 5 series here.
Let's take a look at the maps. Let's take a look at the modes, because this best of 5 is going to take a long distance for if Cruz can predict this right. Apocalypse Hardpoint for that first one. Raid Search and Destroy for the second. Back to Checkmate Control for a third. And you look at that 4th and 5th. We get a second Raid and an Express to close this out. How are you feeling about this map set, Jesse?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting map set. I might have the map set wrong in my own notebook here. I'm not too sure, but I thought we were going to Moscow for our second and Raid for our final map. We might just have to get that cleared up with production as well. But yeah, it's definitely looking like a very good map set. Very fast hard points as well. I think that's gonna be a big thing and a big talking point for us to look at is Apocalypse and Raid hardpoint. They played very similar. You're gonna be very submachine gun heavy for those 2 maps. And whether or not those 2 maps come through and we really see that big kind of pop off, that's really what's going to be the difference here.
Well, when you're looking at this, I do have to say for Apocalypse, it's one of those maps that when you see a team bring Apocalypse out to play, you know that they're going to be a good Apocalypse team, because not a lot of teams do this. So let's take a look at this. Northwood looking to start off like they did last time, already in the hill. You look at the north and south right now from either side. It's going to be a battle for the rotations in the back line. Player number 6 losing to Bammoth on that rotation, and that is a big opening now for Minnesota.
That's a perfect spawn flip right off the rip from the likes of Minnesota. They push all the way through from the left-hand side. They find a couple of kills, and they just completely push them out. K-Top, though, he will find 2 in the back, and this gives them the chance now for Northwood to push back through that right-hand side and flip those spawns back out. And you can see Minnesota, when they spawn up, they spawn at the old hill, so everything now working back into Northwood's favor. They can get set up. They can try to get a good hold here.
Oh, K-Top gets a good opening, but Sparrow finds that trade. So setting up for the pinch is going to be Minnesota into the back line. Northwood, they have to take their attention to this flank. White Dog, those are some good shots on the slushy. It's going to back him up. It's going to tame him, and the rest of them are going to fly on out. They get the trades, overwhelm the site. It's a break for Minnesota.
And that's 2 breaks in a row now. Minnesota coming out hot to start this game off. I mean, you don't normally see breaks on the hill number 2. But they break hill 1 immediately, flip the spawns, they get broken right back, but get the break for themselves right back as well. And I mean, if this is how this game is going to be back and forth so far, as another break comes through for Northwood, we're about to be in for a absolutely exciting Apocalypse hardpoint.
It's Break City out here. You know, I can't catch a break, but you know what? These teams can. Alex, looking to work for Stilts. It's a 2-for-1 right now as Bam around the back. That's a big one for Minnesota. Can you double down on a K-Top? You know exactly where he is from the top ropes. Not looking the right way. Still Northwood looking to battle out for the Stilts control, but with 2 going the way of Minnesota, it looks like they're going to be the first ones here when the hill pops. That's what you're seeing, but Jesse, look at Slushy. Look at player number 6. Around the back, he's going to find that spawn. He's going to flip things on its head now. Northwood should have the better attention to this hill, and they're going to be able to reinforce this again and again.
But they're staying strong inside the hill, and that kill, at least, it slows things down now. They can try to start to bring it back here if you're Minnesota, but it just does not seem to matter. Northwood, they're a little bit too strong. I say that, but Y-Dog, he was able to find another one. So, again, it's just another one of those hills that we've seen so far throughout this game where both teams consistently able to just reinforce this hill over and over again. And we really did think that Northwood had the stronger side there, but Minnesota, once again, they break the spawns, they get the side they want, and it should be Minnesota once again coming out on top.
I apologize for that. Y-Dog just hit the nastiest shot punch, and I actually choked on my water. Bamf now looking to play for this backside. as the Turtle Hill is going to be popping. A 40-point lead for Minnesota. Very attainable for Northwood to crawl back into this one, especially fighting from Temple. They can back Minnesota up inside that back spawn that they're holding on to, and things could get out of hand. However, the break from Minnesota, it's good, it's solid, it's overwhelming, and the pressure can't be handled.
And again, just another big break for Minnesota. It's kind of crazy. We don't normally see this many breaks come through on Apocalypse, but that Turtle Hill, one of the easier hills to be able to break on in. And if Minnesota was able to break hills 2 and 3 as easily as they were, I don't know why we should be surprised at all to see the break come in there. And that spawn is so interesting. Not something that we normally expect to see, but Northwood, they'll get the spawn on the left-hand side of the map, and this actually works out perfectly for them here. Yes, they're kind of losing in time right now, but now with the chance to be able to get the spawns on the left-hand side, they can try to rotate and get towards the new hill.
Give them the hands, Alec. Just show them. You got what it takes too here. A whole 50-point lead plus for Minnesota going into this last hill of the rotations. They're going to be the first ones here again, but banging on their doorsteps. It's going to be Northwood. They get the spawn in the back too, so they're going to be able to pinch this with the player advantage. Back into this hill for the 50 seconds. Noah around the trenches. Great trade from K-Top. The bait and switch for Northwood. It's a full wipe.
Neither team can hold on to a spawn right now to save their lives. I've never seen Apocalypse hardpoint like this one here, Colin, throughout this first set of rotations. And this hill is absolutely Northwood's chance now to bring themselves right back into this game. It was looking so good for Minnesota through the first half. So many breaks into their favor. But as the second kind of half of the first set of rotations broke down, it has really been a lot of Northwood being able to bring themselves right back into this game. Minnesota will get the break, though, towards the later half of this hill. And, I mean, this last kill here for Y-Dog, this should give them the last 15 seconds here for Minnesota. But look at those spawns once again. Look where Northwood is. They're on that right-hand side of the map. They can try to pinch these players and stick them into their spawns.
Spawn challenge impossible. Unless you're Northwood this time around. You're going to find Spear up on that rotation. K-Top going to have a foot in this hill right away. Closest player is going to be Noah Rue. They spot him out. They shut him down. Now Minnesota's going to be attacking this with that disadvantage. So they're going to have to be careful on their approach. As they're walking into a deadly crossfire, Y-Dog is going to go the high road. Find Smitzy looking the wrong way, but not able to have any help through this. It's a great cleanup from Northwood. Now a chance to pull this back. They can tie us up here.
They absolutely can tie us up, and not only tie us up, but let's not forget about where the next hill goes to and where Slushy is getting pushed off of right now. And that hill can 100% be a full 60 if a team's able to hold on to it the right way. And a perfect kind of sense of direction change from the likes of Northwood. They were sitting in the middle of the map. They heard the call out from Slushy come in saying, hey, I've got 3 pushing me. Everybody on Northwood turns around. They push back up towards the right-hand side. They want to get back on these spawns. They hold on strong. Yes, the lead continues to stay in Minnesota's favor, but it doesn't matter when you're able to be in hold of P2.
Up goes Y-Dog. It's actually going to be Noah, the hero of this town. He's got the backup too. Bam for the break. Now Northwood going to be on the re-aggress. Can they break this? Because I know we've been struggling with that from either side of this. But if you hold on to the rest of this, I mean, 190 doesn't seem too bad on a map like Apocalypse.
What is this APOC?
It's a break for the front. Y-Dog gets pressured out. Now they're going to start this whole flood through the back end. The pinch is going to be very, very thin. But here comes the pressure. K-Top finds 2. The break from Noah, not gonna be overwhelmed just yet. He's got backup. Alex gonna find him. Noah's still alive, finally cleaned up. Northwood, they get the time, but I mean, 15 seconds, was it worth it?
In 2 hills on P2 so far, we have seen 5 breaks come through. That is absolutely ridiculous, as Minnesota immediately broke Northwood's hold that we thought looked so strong to start that off. But nonetheless, we continue to hope for a hold to come in for one of these 2 teams as Northwood makes the rotation over towards Stilts. They're the first team here. They're able to get into the hill, but instantly broken once again. Minnesota finds a 4-man pinch, but it's still Northwood in favor of the spawns. They can try to reinforce this early.
Slush is so annoying. He does the same thing he did last time, and it pays off. This time around, though, Minnesota, they're going to react to it, and they're going to realize what happened in the backline, and actually holding this very well. Northwood, they have to be scared a little bit here. They're going to have to get into the sail. K-Top, close to 1. No, the shots are good. Minnesota, they're holding on to the rest of this. It's almost a full 60, Jesse.
I don't know how they're doing it. Minnesota continues to try to build this lead up, and it seems to be the more contest-heavy hills right now that Minnesota is starting to get their advantages on. Now masking that 200-point mark, putting them 50 seconds away from being able to close this game out for themselves here. But as we look to rotate over towards the Turtle Hill, it's going to be a 4 down now for the likes of Northwood. They are in control of the spawns for the next 2 hills as well. So if they can start to put a little bit of pressure on this and not allow Minnesota to get a break here, this is Northwood's chance to really come back in and maybe even secure the win.
It does. 174 to 208. Here comes the break from Minnesota. 2 kills go the way, though. Up Northwood, you have a foot into the hill, and Noah finds 2! It's a big break from Minnesota. Now Northwood in a disarray. They got to get back to this hill. And yes, Minnesota, they can't win on this hill, but they can get damn close. Jesse, here comes the swing from Northwood. They're going to be falling as they walk through the choke, and this is a good time for Minnesota. They're going to get about 2 points to the victory, and they get the flip.
Look at the spawn. I thought the exact same thing at you as the same time as everybody on Minnesota spawns up in the bottom left-hand side of the map. They're still holding on to old time as well as they continue with the tab. They're inside the hill. All the rotational battles now going on. Go towards Northwood. They absolutely needed to win those gunfights because now Minnesota, without being broken on the last hill, 6 seconds away from being able to put it away. They're 1 break away from winning this one.
Northwood might have just fumbled the bag, but they got to dig deep for this win. 190 to 244. Can they go flawless in this last hill? You look at those blue arrows. They're going to be surrounding this pressure. Still the kills going for the Northwood. Slushy finds the extension. Is going to wrap around for 2. The cleanup in the backline. However, Noah comes to the rescue. These last couple players inside the hill, they got to go up for these kills. As you can see, Minnesota 2 on either side of this hill. And Smitsy's gonna find 1. The break from Bam. K-Top overwhelmed. There's Minnesota into it. 5 seconds left to take this map number 1 around the hard point. Northwood can't touch. Minnesota find Apocalypse.
And we said it when we came into this one that these 2 teams are so evenly matched, and you saw it right there throughout that entire first game. It was just break after break after break. Neither team really able to solidly get a good hold throughout this entire game, but somehow, some way, Northwood University, they come away with the Game 1 victory.
They come away with the Game 1, something we were very skeptical about. And I know Apocalypse is one of those maps that can go either way, Jesse, but when you look at Northwood, the fact that they were able to win it last time and they bring it into this veto as well, you have to be thinking that they were really confident going into that, but just nobody could hold a damn hill. What was happening?
And my mistake, it was Minnesota that won that game. I don't know why I said Northwood at the end there, but
oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. We're still that mind boggled that there was that many breaks in that game. We're so used to watching Apocalypse Hardpoint and Apocalypse just be over and over again. Hey, full 60 my way, full 60 your way, full 60 my way. Back to you. You get a full 60. It's like Ellen DeGeneres out here. You get a full 60. You get a full 60. This time through, it was just break after break, and I mean, it threw me off so bad I don't even know who wins the map. But Minnesota State University, they come out, they're able to close it out, and now we look to head on towards the rest of the series. You have a Moscow S&D coming up next. It is a complete different pace of change of play going in towards this game from that first hill.
Even in Apocalypse, I mean, nobody really turned around to check for that Slushy flank the second time around. The exact same thing happened.
Just breaks. That's
There's
all I remember.
There's a good chance we might see that. Let's check out this map. It's raid.
All right, the notes are out the window. We're heading to raid for map 2, not for map 5. But nonetheless, it looks like Y-Dog's going to push forward. He gets this bomb down over towards the B site, and we know how strong of a position this can be over towards B. We were talking about the B hits on Moscow. We got to see a B hit round number 1 nonetheless.
Ooh, the nade, the follow-up. K-Top opens this retake up. Time against Northwood here, so they got to get into the site. That's going to be a troublesome one, but they take care of the bedroom player. They find Noah. One last player left is Spear Up, who's watching that flank. In fact, doesn't have an eye on this bomb. K-Top's going to flood into that backline, finds him, and put Northwood on the map.
Huge wins from Northwood there as they're able to close that out and be able to win that round. And I mean, that's normally such a tough spot to be in. Once you get in those back positions, you're able to get back up into top bedroom. But nonetheless, it does not seem to matter. They're able to close that out for themselves, and they're able to win the round out.
It was a great opportunity for Minnesota to get that bomb set up, play that player into the bedroom, but some good shots out of Northwood to just dethrone that whole setup for the post plant. And now you flip the tables here. Northwood on the attack. What are we going to see off the break? Oh, a rush down mid. Looking for that courtyard pressure. Whitehawk has to give it up right away, and he's going to be calling for backup immediately. You look at those blue arrows. Looking to suffocate them out through this kitchen break. Noah's going to shut them down. Shuts the door on 3. You find Alex in the back when the Diamante might not take him down. He's got the teammates to do that. A quick round from Minnesota.
And Minnesota just answers back. They said, hey, you know what? We shouldn't have lost that round number 1. They absolutely knew it. So this time through, they just say, hey, you know what? Come at us with your mid push. We see your mid push, and we answer you back with a mid very strong hold. And they don't allow anything to come through from Northwood into the middle of the map, and they just shut that down completely. And now you got to be looking at Noah on 3 in a row, possibly looking to try to find some streaks here. First round, we saw Minnesota State. They went towards the B bomb. This time through, they're going to go towards A with it. And, I mean, you've got a lot of players over here right now for Northwood as well. They might just be able to shut down this push.
Whitehawk with the bomb. K-Top extremely low. Is the follow going to be there? Oh, he's so sneaky in the back. But Slushy's going to fall in. I don't think they realized K-Top was the one that took all that heat. Finally, they're going to clean him up. That's 2 off the board for Northwood. That should be bombed down now, especially when Alex is going to fall in that position. Smitsy's got to be the hero for Northwood, and they have him checked.
This Minnesota State team, man. I mean, they are looking dangerous right now. After that map number 1, closing it out, and then you head into map number 2. Yeah, you lose round number 1. Let's be honest, they probably shouldn't have lost that round number 1. They got caught out kind of a little bit, lose a few gunfights they probably shouldn't have lost, but since then, they dominate round number 2. Round number 3 comes out, and it's another very clean round here for the likes of Minnesota. And I mean, if they can keep up this type of pace of play and keep finding kills constantly like this, that's 2 clean rounds in a row. Northwood, yeah, I mean, you're going to need to find an answer very quickly here to sup this team.
This time on attack, they're going to go to A. Not the quick dash in the middle. Slushy's going to find that first blood on Noah. Spear up, has to give up laundry. That's A control now to the Wolves. Can they get this bomb planted? Well, before that, it looks like they want to really make sure laundry's cleared out, just so that nobody slips in behind and drops that bomb. So this bomb's going to go down. You have the post plant set up. Here's one. In and out. That's a big one to trade, but still, Northwood, they find that advantage. So this collapse from Minnesota, it is going to be 1 player down. Slushy watching the back. They're going to be flooding right into this. He knows they line up for him, or at least one's going to line up for him. Now 1v3 for Spear Up. He's on the chase. Right and around. Slushy tucked into the corner. Spirit's able to find him now, making it a 1v2, but the players putting him in check. Northwood answer back.
And that's a big round needed from the Northwood players. They get that bomb down early on, and I mean, once that bomb once the bomb planter goes down, it kind of looks like the round might start to fall apart, but they're able to kind of slow it down, find the kills, don't allow Northwood to really set up a good pinch around the rest of the map. That's really what closes it out there for the likes of the Northwood players. They get to shut it down. Now, looking towards the rest of this round, Minnesota State, they've gone towards B, they've gone towards A. The B site did not seem to work out for them in that first round there. But the bomb, it's going to go back towards B, and actually, the player Whitehawk, he's by himself over towards the site right now. And if they get aggressive on here, he might be able to find a first kill off stream, and he absolutely does, and he gets away with his life.
And Noah finds the second. K-Top gets absolutely worked through the courtyard. Now Northwood again, they have to fight back from a disadvantage of 2. Alex in a 1v3. Now things falling apart here for your orange squad. But Alex has snuck his way into Art. He's going to double back. A chance to get that bomb down, but doesn't check him. The information is going to be there. Now Minnesota, they know exactly where to look. This bomb's going to get planted. Post plant, it's going to be Sublime. And not much Alex can do here with this 74U. Looking to at least make a dent out of these Minnesota players. Has recovered the crate too, but a lot of heat to take and too many shots to handle.
In Minnesota, I mean, it was a very early round advantage that they were able to take throughout that round. And It was really wide dog. He finds that first blood off site, honestly, like playing by himself completely with the bomb. He finds the first blood and gets away with his life, and then kind of just opened up middle of the map for the rest of the Minnesota players to be able to get out, find a few more picks, and really start to open up the round. And once they got that 3-1 lead, it was kind of just a pack and dog mentality. You just play together, find the trades if you need to. Now Northwood back on offense. The first time we're seeing them head over towards this B bomb site, but there are 2 players over towards this site, at least for Minnesota, that can start to make some noise over here. And as soon as they spot the call that the players are coming on in, that's when the rotation comes over, and you can see everybody on Minnesota State. They're starting to make that rotation over. And Y-Dog finds the first blood.
Brilliant out of Minnesota State. They get the trophies out of play, and they just stack that bomb site with nades. Now, the bomb's down for Northwood in a very uncomfortable situation. They have to push this aggression in, not only get this bomb planted, but they're going to have to take a few gunfights before they do so. And it's all up to Alex, really, because Slushy's watching their back. Alex is going to fall 1v4. Minnesota State looking for the flawless here. And now that they know where Slushy is, you said it before, pack of dog mentality. Well, look at the minimap. They are hunting for this player.
So she's just going to try to jump off the map, but not going to jump off in time as he still gets shut down just from the back. We're getting to see a replay of it here. He knew he had no chance of winning this round. He said, I'm going to get out of here. And Y-Dog said, not today. He said, get over here. It's time to drop to the likes of my gun.
Get over here.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was. And honestly, Colin, I think that was what, the 4th flawless round? Maybe the 3rd. Flawless round that we've seen from Minnesota so far here in this game. It just feels like when they're winning these rounds right now, it is coming in and they're just not only winning them, but also dominating them in that team nade. Oh, that scared me so bad. I thought we were about to see some shades of last week when we saw the early team nade on raid search and destroy, but not going to be the case. Northwood, they're still going to try to push up, and the kid dropped again. First blood going back into the state of Minnesota.
The nerves, Jesse. The nerves are getting to Northwood right now. Now, these 3 players, they need to retake this A site, and they have 2 on the flank, so if Mammoth catches them, Northwood might have their opening, but he's going to hold strong, find 1, keep that player advantage. So even though Northwood finds this raid, this bomb is planted, this post plants are just going to favor Minnesota. Nonetheless, look at Noah. He's hitting that wrap. Alex has no idea he's behind him, but these sites are going to be dangerous on top of them. Y-Dog's going to fall 1v1 on site. Smitzy versus Noah. 25 seconds left on this bomb. Noah's ready for this. He's only the close angle. Smitzy has no idea. Minnesota, they keep the ball rolling. Ooh. Map point.
That round got a little bit close to the Minnesota wanted. Definitely not one of the flawlesses that we've seen earlier on, but Noah, he was able to close it out. This 1v1, he just kind of sits here, holds the angle. He knew Smitzy was on his left, and honestly, he's taking kind of a bit of a risky play there, just holding one angle, not kind of checking multiple things, because Smitzy really could have made a push back in through art, maybe tried to make a flank play, knowing the position of where Noah was originally, but it just doesn't matter. Noah holds the right angle. He finds the last kill. He's on 5 in a row, and like you said, puts Minnesota State now on a map point, trying to go up 2-0 here in the series, and it's going to be a Northwood 4-man push through the middle of the map. We saw this in round number 2. It didn't work out for them. Maybe it might work out a little bit better here.
Alex finds Mammoth. That's a good start this time around. Now, inside money, Y-Dog gives it away. K-Top could slide on in here, but instead he's going to flex around into the back line where Noah's waiting in lie. 2 players down. Bomb gets planted, but here comes Spear up on the flank. 1v3. To keep Northwood alive here on raid search and destroy, and his back is going to be caught to his enemy. Minnesota have turned up the dial today.
Minnesota State University, let's not play these guys on raid search and destroy. So many rounds come away with just them barely losing lives, and a 6-2 very dominant victory here for themselves here throughout this game. And I mean, if you're Northwood University right now, you need to hit the hard reset. Map number 1 doesn't go your way. It kind of felt like Minnesota was always in control of that map. Map number 2, absolutely the same way. It kind of just felt like Northwood. What did they win the first round? I can't remember if they won the first round. I feel like they did. I think it was Minnesota that dropped the ball round number 1. They were in that powerful position up in the top bedroom. But ever since that round, it just kind of felt like everything that Minnesota did, it was just the right thing to do at the right time, and they were able to just shut down Northwood over and over again.
And sometimes you need to see in Search and Destroy. Those mid-map adjustments are so strong in this game mode. You can see that Minnesota State, Mankato, they turned up the dial, like I said, and Northwood, they just haven't been able to step up to the plate today. I mean, this is a playoff spot on the line. these playoffs are the rest of your Cold War season for Collegiate Call of Duty. So Northwood, if they want to stay alive here, it's got to start here for the reverse sweep. Checkmate Control. It's going to be a tough one. I mean, we just saw it in our previous series. That map 3, it can be very punishing if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, and it really could be. Checkmate Control. Last time we saw these two teams play on Checkmate Control was a Northwood University map win, actually, and it was a 3-2 map win. So we talked about it before. It's very likely that whoever ended up getting that last defense on this map was able to close it out. Obviously, we don't know the full 100%. It could have been an offensive win in that final round. You never know. Sometimes it does happen, but more likely than not, it was a defensive round win. So that's something we really got to kind of keep our eye on going in towards this last little bit. Can Northwood pull it out? Can they start to bring themselves back into this game? Because you got to think a raid hard point, not the worst thing for them to go into next, and then an express search and destroy to kind of close it out. There's a chance here, but Northwood, they got to find a way. They got to start to kind of keep up with this lane in Minnesota because it's kind of been one-sided so far.
It's the same exact win condition that we saw in our last series when it's this map 3. Your ARs have to step up, and your submachine guns have to take the space that they're given. And how many times did we see a life advantage get thrown out of the window last time around? If Northwood gets put into that same situation, I need to start seeing them turn up that dial exactly like Minnesota State, Mankato have been doing in this whole exact series. Folks, this is the number 3 seed versus the number 2 seed. And the number 3 seed is up 2-0 right now, looking to upset Northwood. And Jesse, one more map. Do you think they could do it here?
I mean, I called it. I said I thought Minnesota were going to come out and take the fight to Northwood today, and we kind of said it going in our green room before we got on stream today. You were really on Northwood's side. I was really like, I don't know. I think Minnesota has a chance today, and you know what? We've also both said that we thought this series was going to go the distance, so it's definitely not over yet. I might be getting a little bit too confident in myself over here right now, but Minnesota's looking good, man. It's going to be very, very tough for Northwood to come back in. I know some people say that they don't think momentum is a thing, but I hate to disagree, but I absolutely think that momentum can play a very, very heavy factor in a series, especially like this. Once you have Minnesota kind of coming out, they barely win map number 1. They smoke on map number 2. You got to think that's going to give them a lot of confidence going into map number 3.
Yeah, you have to imagine. I really think that Minnesota State of Mankato, they're here to play. And they're here to make sure that last loss to Northwood, it was a fluke. I think this 2-0 just shows exactly what we've been setting up the storylines for this whole series, or the whole season, is we want to see growth out of these teams. Well, this is first-hand growth right out of Minnesota State. I love what I'm seeing out of this roster, and if checkmate is what's standing in between them and a sweep right now, I think you're right. Momentum is going to play a big part of it. We saw it all year in Cold War that momentum was a tricky thing. Not a lot of teams could bounce back in this game. And this is going to be a tough one for Northwood. I think checkmate is definitely going to be a place where we're going to see them struggle.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Like, yeah, they've already taken this map off Minnesota, so you got to think that this is going to give them a little bit of confidence going into it. But just the fact of how strong Minnesota has looked today can't be easy. And I mean, talking about strong, you got to talk about Noah right now, kind of leading the way all day long so far here for Minnesota State. And if he's able to close it out and kind of really pick up and keep the same pace going that he was playing with in those first 2 maps, this is going to be a very tough map for Northwood.
Already a good start to this game number 3. Off the break off, it's a 25-23 life advantage for Minnesota State. On his defending side, you can see that these ARs are set up on this power position, looking to take these gunfights to allow Noah to get to control the plane. And speaking of planes, we're going to see the fight. Trade's going through. Noah splits the difference. On the A side, it's going to be Alex, but surrounded by sharks. Looking to come up swimming. Slushy to back him up, and still alive, barely breathing. Northwood holding on to A with dear life. Jesse working on that second tick. They are going to have reinforcements. That second tick impression is going to be here. Noah's going to get caught on the rotation. A site's gone.
It's exactly what Northwood needs. They come out, dominate through that first hill, and they're actually able to find 2 kills in succession over towards the second. They can just try to stack this point. I don't know why all 3 don't hop onto it, because that probably could have been 2 ticks of progress done before anybody on Minnesota State could have gotten anywhere close to that. But I don't even think it matters right now. Second tick of progress is going to come through, but they still only have 1 person on it at the moment. They need to stack this hill with how far away these players are spawning. It just doesn't seem to matter, though. Everybody's just going to fall for Minnesota State anyways, and this should be the round done. But it gets contested last second.
Oh, no. Is there a chance for Minnesota to stay alive? It looked electric out of Northwood, but...
Oh, I threw the towel in too early, Colin.
From the grave, yeah, you did. You really did. You gotta learn sometimes. It's not over until it's over.
It was looking so good.
Until it gets capped. Worried for this playing control. K-Top knows 2 players are going to be here. Bam plays on the outside. Is going to find that trade. Noah doubles down. Northwood again set back to the spawn.
Oh, no. And we saw this in our last series as well. Once the defense kind of got control of things and was able to put this spawn trap on, this is where the offense can really start to get into some trouble. And the spawn trap, it's absolutely been engaged here. Minnesota State, they've got the position they want on the map. They've got the life lead now. Time only ticking into their favor. Northwood, they need to find a way to break out of this so they can get onto the hill and stop the clock and start to get that tick of progress going back up.
As they do. 9 lives to 8. Northwood fighting at a small disadvantage, but at this point of the game, the disadvantage it's going to be very large. Smithy is a long route. Is going to find one, but close by is a teammate from Minnesota. The wraparound spear. Oh, I thought he was going to have that, but the hands. They're too good out of Northwood. He gets a nice right hook, and here's the follow-up from Northwood to get onto the site. No respawns, though. This is going to be tough. Y-Dog on that top plane is going to find Smitzy. Doesn't even have to drop down. He's got teammates to do that for him. K-Top has to make a dash to this point. Alex nowhere close to them. Very disconnected. Minnesota State, they hold on, and they find the round somehow.
I mean, I'll tell you exactly how they won that round, Colin. It comes down to simply a mistake from Northwood. They didn't stack the hill. They had so many opportunities to stack the hill. Is that what you thought I was going to say?
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought.
They did not stack the hill, and I mean, I called for it twice throughout that round where they had a 4 down or a 3 down, and they absolutely had every chance in the world to stack the hill, and they just don't. And yes, you get into some powerful positions, but once you lose those gunfights in those powerful positions, it opens up routes for the Minnesota players to get through. I thought they did just enough to close it out, but they just didn't. Minnesota, they found the wrap. They were able to get in behind, shoot 2 players in the back, get them off the hill, and shut down that final tick of progress. And then once that tick of progress doesn't come through, they get the 4 down. They're able to push all the way through. And just once that spawn trap gets engaged, it is so tough to break out of it.
Minnesota State of Mankato. They come back in that first round, something we saw time and time again in our last series. Look at the setup from Northwood. Actually, player number 3, K-Top, all the way deep in enemy territory. This is interesting, the fact that they're able to slip through the cracks this early. They're going to clean up on Alex, but here comes K-Top, good for 2. On the escape, just being a nuisance at this point as providing a lot of control for the rest of the teammates of Northwood to progress into this site. Like, you know, clean up Spear Up, and Missouri, Minnesota really needs to start cleaning up. That's some good timing onto K-Top. Smitzy's going to follow. There's the exit strategy now from Northwood, but stopped again. Slushy this time, picking up the mantle.
Yeah, Northwood's in a good spot in this round. They have exactly the setup they want right now where they can continue just to try to pin these Minnesota State Mankato players in towards the back. And yes, only 30 seconds left, but I mean, we've seen weirder things happen. We've seen bigger breaks come through on this map mode combo. Y-Dog will touch the hill, gets shut down immediately, though.
Hey, I've seen bigger things happen. I was watching that last round. Bigger things have happened already into this one. Mammoth off the top ropes is going to be good for 1. Stops the clock at 13 now. Progression at A. Alex is going to clean this one up. Can't find the trade out. It's going to be K-Top having to flood on in, find a few kills their way. Looking to clean up around this point before he gets to that A side. Slushy, good for a second one. Northwood picking them apart one by one. The nade's going to drop Spear Up really low. Smitzy for the follow-up on his own. 3 go down. The break from Northwood might have been the savior for this whole round, Jesse. Is Y-Dog looking to stop this clock again for the late round effort here, and that's just enough. And Y-Dog's going to follow, so K-Top keeping his team alive in this one. Northwood not yet giving up the round. They go right back in. It was a valiant effort out of Y-Dog, but just not enough.
If he could have just laid down and stayed alive for a few more seconds, it might have just given them enough time to get back into it, but he was stuck in crouch and just not able to do it there. And I mean, this huge play from K-Top at the end not only finds the first and the second, but also switches to the Diamatti and finds the third at the very end of the round to close it out for Northwood, bring them right back into this game. And so far, so good. Defense holding strong through 2 rounds of control.
Back on the attack now, Northwood. They were close last time. They just fumbled the bag. You already told them why. Let's see if they can fix it. Let's break off. Similar to the last one, they're going to walk into plane and they're going to get sent home on a no-fly zone.
You gotta be careful here if you're Northwood, and they find the player that I was kind of reiterating that with Mammoth. They find him in the back. They don't allow that spawn trap to get put in, because once they got put in that spawn trap in the first round, they had a very, very tough time breaking out of it. Lost a lot of lives to it, and that's really where the round started to fall apart for them here. But back onto the A site, back to the same strat as last round. They go for A first, try to get it done, then they try to rotate it over to B after.
This time around, they don't have as many players dedicated to A as they did last time, so is able to get Minnesota back into this before that tick even got captured. So Smitzy and Slushy looking to work their way into the site. Alex now the last one up, and Minnesota State, they handle business. Mankato coming to play. They don't want to drop checkmate. They don't want to lose this round. They want to maintain their advantage, which they've held onto this whole series. With 29 seconds left, this is where things are going to get dicey if you're a Northwood fan.
And with those 3 kills coming in there, you got to think that Minnesota State are putting themselves in a situation where they're putting this game into their own hands. They will have 2 chances, very likely, at closing this one out, unless something from Northwood happens where they can get on and they can cap one of these zones with 6 seconds left. But I don't think it's looking super likely here. Although a few kills do go their way, Noah still is that player in the back line, though, for the Minnesota State Mankato players, and it's going to be very, very tough to be able to close this round out with 1.7 seconds left.
Oh, the stick! But it's just not enough. Stick or no stick, there is no win. Northwood, they dropped the round again. A lot more convincing this time around. You see the changes at a Minnesota State of Mankato. They do it again. We've been seeing it all series long. They just get better and better as the rounds progress, Jesse.
They do, but this last offense for them, they got absolutely dominated. Northwood won that defense, and they won it by a good margin here. Minnesota State, if they want to be able to take this offense here, they need to find a way to kind of push through the plane, get a little bit more submachine gun pressure onto that A site, because I felt like the last round, it was only ARs that were trying to hold the site, and they were just getting kind of overwhelmed by submachine gun pressure on it. So if they can maybe get an SMG onto site, maybe that's when they can try to get one of these sites down a little easier.
Getting a little bit of deja vu. K-Tub's already in the spawn of Minnesota State of Mankato. However, this time that Minnesota State, they have the exit to the bottom of the minimap, and you still have Y-Dog in the spawn of Northwood. So a lot more damage this time being done by Minnesota. And you see that Northwood are able to deal with it. Now, this is a chance for K-Tub to really turn up in his position. He's going to find Noah on that exit. Snap back around to the spawn. And I like this. He's just looking to burn the time, just like he did last time.
It's not Vanguard. He can't shoot through all that wood. He gets away with his life. Now everybody in Northwood just trying to push forward now. They want to shut these players down before they can do anything off spawn, and it's exactly the right strategy to use. And they are doing it picture perfect right now. Nobody on Minnesota State is able to get anywhere comfortable throughout this game. And I'm trying to think right now, with only 20 seconds left, trying to think of who might be able to get this final defense and who it's going to go to. But I mean, Northwood was able to get 3 ticks of progress through their first round, but you got to think that it's probably going to be Northwood that gets the final defense if it's based off of just progression ticks.
That might be enough to get them to a map number 4, because they've just looked so strong here. Alex again shuts them down on the cross. 2-2. We got a map 5 or round 5, folks, here in checkmate control. As this series, it might be leaning towards one side, but Northwood, they are not giving up without a fight, let me tell you that. As constantly, Alex and K-Top have been the nuisance, the thorn in the backside of Minnesota State of Mankato. You can see, Jesse, you were right. Northwood on the defensive side.
Yeah, and they've looked strong on defense. Very strong so far. Minnesota State Mankato, they got to find a way to just break out of this, and they're going to do something different off the rip here. Instead of going towards that A site, they're going to send 3 players, 2 through the middle of the plane, 1 underneath the plane, just to try to throw these players on Northwood off a little bit, but it's very much the same off the rip. It's just going to be a lot of trades down the middle of the map, and a whole lot of map control now as Noah finds 2, and they're going to wrap it right over to A.
I don't know how he physically did that.
I don't know what line he found to get through there either.
If the perfect one, but so did Northwood. Only giving up a take right now. Back into the hill. Bam, it's still alive, expecting the pre-fire. Instead, it's going to be K-Top who took to the plains to clear that hill. Once again, only giving up a tick towards A, Jesse. Minimizing the damage that Minnesota State were able to get off of that brilliant break from Noah. 23-22, looking to lead his team to another victory here. K-Top again, he's in the back line. What a nuisance, what a rat here. Can he find a second one? He cannot. Bam, it's able to clean him up now. Over to B and A goes Minnesota State and Mankato. But Noah's going to caught on the rotation, and that's going to force Y-Dog to take matters into his own hand. Getting pinched out here. Smitzy already damage done, and he's able to clean it up.
Try to get back onto A, though. It's going to be Spire by himself over on this site, and it's just not enough. Everybody on Northwood, it's another full shutdown here. 30 seconds left, and the spawn trap, it's once again engaged here. Northwood, they get it done exactly how they want, and now Minnesota State, they've struggled with it all game long. They need to find a way to break out of this.
Smitzy now to take up where K-Top left off. There's only 11 seconds, Jesse, and look at this. Another one picks up with the last one left. K-Top's going to be rushing from side to side, looking to pick up these players as they flood on into A, walking into the crossfire that Northwood are looking to shut them down. Here comes K-Top from behind. The Diamante in hand, cleans up one, finds the second one. Northwood University, they're going to send us to a map 4.
And again, it's a 3-2 victory, just closing it out for Northwood University, but they are now 2 for 2 going up against Minnesota State University. Mankato on this game mode, on this map mode combo, and it's very likely that that last series closed out exactly the way this one did, where it was just you head towards that map number 3, whoever gets that final defense, and it was just Northwood who did just enough in their first offense. They got, what, 5 ticks of progression, were never able to close it out, but those extra 2 ticks they got, it was just that little bit extra that gave them the kick over Minnesota to get that final defense, and it really helped them close that game out to give themselves that first map win on the board. Now they can slowly start to climb their way back as we look to head over towards right hard point.
Minnesota State Mankato, they started off so strong, Jesse, but what was it in that control that threw them off?
Oh, I mean, it was offense. They just weren't able to take an offense in that control at all. And Northwood getting 2 rounds or getting 2 ticks of progress on the B site in that first round, it really was what kind of closed it out for them. And honestly, Minnesota looked like they might have been able to take one of their offenses early on, but it just wasn't enough. Northwood University just constantly piled on the pressure on defense, kept putting Minnesota State Mankato back in towards that spawn trap. It really was what kind of took it away. So now if you're Northwood University, you need to kind of pick up and pile on from that progress, continue to try to snowball that heading in towards this raid hard point. We saw in that first hard point, it was very close. It was constant breaks back and forth, especially on money hills. And heading towards the raid, I mean, we know that hills 2, 3, and 4 can really be hills that teams can lock down a lot of time. I'm very curious to see if we're going to see much of the same, if we're going to see a break after break after break, or if we're going to finally start to see some solid holds out of these two teams.
You know, oftentimes we talk about that rotation battle that happens right off the bat. Not too worried if you don't get the less preferred side. That hill number 2, not too bad to fight from the front line. What a shot from Slushy to open this one up. Instant trade, so this is going to be even on the board right now. In the ring, it's K-Top again. You saw him in that last game. He was such a nuisance. This time around, cleaned up like it's nothing. And look at Y-Dog on the flank. He's fine Slushy, able to double down with his teammate. And it's a beautiful start for Minnesota State of Mankato.
I mean, I don't think you could ask for a better start. Not only do they get the break in a lot of early time, but they get the spawn flip as well. Now holding onto the left-hand side, mini-map spawns. But you got to be worried about the rest of the players on Northwood. They're trying to make the flank in from the back. You actually lose the spawns in the hill as well. So everybody now on Northwood, they can push forward and just try to trap these two players on the Minnesota State side. In the back here, it's just Bammoth. He falls as well. So as quickly as they got those spawns, then it was looking so good for Minnesota State. Northwood, they take it right back into their hands.
Look at Y-Dog. Look at all Minnesota State and Mankato.
They're going to go for a 4-man hit from the back.
Slushy's got to turn up right now. He's got the spot, but he can't see any of them through the thin little trees. Noah's going to catch him off guard. The full break from Minnesota, starting from the back line and breaking through this hill. Northwood cleared out in no time, but luckily off this spawn, they're going to get a chance to retake it from front. The nade's going to come in. Here's the slide for the contention. They find the first, but Noah in behind. Ho ho! Bamf is able to clean this one up.
Here's the difference between those two break attempts. Minnesota State, they have a lot of time. They can just choose to make the push. They decide to send all 4 players, go through the jungle side of the map, and not just have to push in through the little chokeholds that are the entrances in towards this room. Now the spawn flip will finally come through, and Northwood should be able to get in control of this hill. But with only 13 seconds left, I mean, if you're Minnesota State Mankato, you're going to take that. You're going to take that run all the way to the bank with it. And now you head over towards the new hill, and you can just put your full focus on it, get a full setup here as well. I thought Y-Dog was about to finesse his life there as well, but not going to be the case in Minnesota State Mankato. They're going to be set up early once again here on the new hill.
This is where you're talking about those money hills. They can really lead you to the promised land. Sierra trades favoring Minnesota. Now with the advantage, you look at the mini-map, the closest player up is going to be player number 5 and 6. Luckily, getting those spawns up with the teammates, going 1 for 1 in art. Starting this through, Y-Dog closes the door, and they can't even get into this hill. Alex's last chance, and not a chance at all.
Look at this play from players 2 and 4 on the likes of Minnesota. Everybody, they're just going to push through towards the new hill. Yes, there's only 20 seconds left here on this hill, but if Spyrup can just stay alive and behind this man, finesse his life and stay alive for just a little bit, they can keep holding on to that time. And everybody on Minnesota State Mankato, as they spawn up, they're going to spawn towards this new hill. So, I mean, they get the initial 30. They can test for, 10 of it towards the back there. So, yeah, you're pretty much only giving up 15 seconds to the likes of Northwood in the last 2 hills, and you can just keep setting up for these new hills over and over again, and it's exactly what we're seeing out of Minnesota State right now.
Spawns for Northwood are going to be inside this lingerie. Mammoth going to be watching the crosshair as you look at the collapse from Northwood. It's going to be looking to pressure up from the top of this mini-map and close in through that spiral staircase. Already taking care of 3. You can see the spawns from Minnesota State and Mankato coming through way far away, but Y-Dog takes care of business on the side. Has a little bit of back off down yonder. And Slushy in a crucial 1v1, but he's going to take the outside route, and the rest of Northwood now a chance again at this hill for 30 seconds left. They overwhelm 2. Last one's going to be Spear Up. He's going to find him, and again, it's Mammoth looking to be that hero that this teammate needs. Minnesota State of Mankato, they can't clean this one up. Northwood finally getting the break, but again, only for scrap time.
It really feels like that's all Northwood has been given in this game so far. Any chance they get at grabbing any time, it seems to be the last 10, 15 seconds of every single hill. Eventually it adds up, but not to the likes of Minnesota, who's grabbing the early 30, early 20 of every single hill before even being contested on most of these hills, it feels like right now. And once again, look who's the first team in the hill. It was Minnesota. They do get dropped out of it pretty quickly, I will say, to start this one off, but it just doesn't seem to matter so far. They just keep getting players. They keep getting people to reinforce into these hills over and over again, and now with 40 seconds left, they start to stabilize here on P5.
Minnesota soaking up this hill, taking their lead to the next level. Northwood flooding on in from either angle. Smitzy finally finds that opening, is able to win the fight on 2. Around the corner, Y-Dog making sure that's uncomfortable and forces his teammate into Spear Up. So well played at a Minnesota State. They get the clear of the site, but not able to get a player inside. Northwood able to reinforce it again. Keep time in their favor. Another 13 seconds or so, and this is going to be a big one because they're putting a lot of emphasis out towards this hill number 1 rotation. It's going to be a big fight for the rotations inside laundry. Smith's able to find one. The trades to Alex. Slushy's here for the battle. It's brilliant from Northwood.
That was probably Northwood's best transition of map so far. They were able to get the back 40 seconds pretty much on that P5 hill. Not only that, but also make their full rotation over towards this first hill once again, but they will get shut down now. Minnesota State, they were able to kind of set up a bit of a pinch, get in towards that hill, shut down the players on Northwood, and they also hold on to those good side spawns. But we've seen in that first set of rotations, it did not seem to matter who held on to those spawns. They got broken 2 or 3 times through this hill one.
Same thing in Apocalypse, same thing in Raid. I don't expect anything less from these two teams. After the gun show that we got to see in that map number 1, Minnesota State back in control here. Mammoth going to be overwhelmed and pressured out. On the top ropes, it's Smitzy taking care of business. He's got a little bit of backup now. Northwood keeping this scrap time. And you know what? It's good for Northwood. Off all these scrap time in the hills, they're one good break and one good hold away from taking the lead.
I mean, they easily have, almost 90 seconds of their hill time has been coming off of the scrap time. So can't really complain if you're Northwood right now. Just keep grabbing that scrap time until you can finally set yourselves up and get a good hold on one of these hills. And this might just be your chances. You get the break in, you've got the full setup, and you've got Minnesota State Mankato spawning exactly where you want them.
Slushy, again, Had trouble back here, but real trouble is going to be from the front. Noah breaks open this hill, allows Spear Up to get on through inside the case. It's going to be a 2-for-1. Spear Up not able to hold on to this just yet. Looking to stay alive here as long as they can. And Northwood taking their sweet old time to get into that hill. That's 20 seconds you can't get up, but it's going to be a race over to here, Hill 3. Look at the arrows north and south right now through the middle of the map in the back. Mammoth is the first one here. Those shots for the Craig are going to be so deadly. Damage them as they pull on in. And you can see those kills going to the favor of Minnesota State and Mankato. Finally the break for Northwood, but still on their doorstep. Minnesota are spawning right there. They're able to reaggress back into the hill, but Northwood, they keep their business at that garage, and now look, they're going to get a lead change finally.
This is a big adjustment from Northwood. The first time through to this hill, they just didn't get enough time on it, and they just didn't set up early enough. This time through, though, they get the full setup they want over towards the hill. They win the rotational battle, but now Minnesota State, they're going to try to set up, try to get a break of their own in here, and they actually have a very good pinch potential coming in.
Y-Dog, Spear Up, picture perfect as always from these two. Smitsy's not yet going to give it up because there's still 30 seconds left. It wouldn't be too bad, but that fight against Mammoth beat hard. Waiting for the teammates to come through. Here's Kato from the front, Slushy from the back. Site's going to be open. Now Northwood another 20 seconds here, keeping their lead. We're going to basketball, of course. Jesse, barely a lead from Northwood, but this is completely different from the first rotations.
It's all scrap time still, though. Northwood, another 20 seconds of scrap time on that hill to start building this lead back up for themselves. And if breaks are going to keep coming as quick and often as they've been coming throughout this game, I mean, you're going to take what you're going to get if you're Northwood here and just keep trying to slowly put this game away. You're like, hey, you know what? Scrap time, fine by me. Just keep giving it to us. We'll keep running away with the score. Like I said, going into this set of rotations, easily 90 seconds on that first set through scrap time. I would easily add another 50 seconds here for them out of their entire game, and now holding on to this hill as well, they're starting to really start to chunk away at this lead.
Minnesota State of Mankato running in through the spiral staircase. They're going to find Alex. K-Top not able to be ready for Spear Up around the corner. 3 go down. The break is good for Minnesota State. Now this is where they can turn things around. Last time their hold onto Courtyard wasn't that bad. They struggled with it. This is really where the downfall of Minnesota State Mankato started, was on this hill, because Northwood were able to once again break pretty easily and then always reinforce a player off spawn into it to contest. So if you're Minnesota State, you need to find these kills and they need to push out this map. That's a team nade from Alex. Luckily, Alex comes through with a kill on Noah. That's one way to bounce back for yourself. K-Top's going to be in this hill now. You can see Spear Up from this full staircase. In through Zigzag's going to be 2, but Northwood's still coming on top in the battles.
Minnesota State Mankato, I mean, they looked so good through that first set of rotations, but you called it. As soon as they hit Courtyard the last time through, this is really where Northwood started to take the game over, and they can absolutely still close this game out here. And Minnesota State, they're not really doing anything special on any of these break attempts. It's just been a lot of individual hits, and Northwood University just taking full control of it.
10 seconds left to go to map number 5, Minnesota State. They can stop this here, but it's going to take a lot of effort. They need to get in the hill. Nobody's going to be in touch. Why, Doug? Why? I didn't even see that Northwood got it back into the hill. Northwood University, the number 2 seed, down by 2. Now sending us to a game number 5 for their chance to play in these playoffs. What a big comeback, folks. You gotta watch out. The reverse sweep. It's coming.
I was going to say, Colin, you said you told everybody to put their brooms away, but I mean, if you're Northwood, you might want to just keep that broom out right now. They want to reverse it, though. They're going to go backwards with the broom this time through, but that is a crazy raid hard point for them to be able to close out there.
Express, we've seen it a lot out of the Cold War. I mean, it's the end of the season. We've seen it plenty of times. You're looking at those 4-player hits to a site. And if doing so, you're going to leave one half of it open. So you better make sure, if you're Minnesota State of Mankato, you keep somebody watching your backside, because you might be able to find a first blood on a Slushy if you do.
And you know what's funny, too? It's like, yeah, we were talking about it in map number 2, that we really thought it was going to be Slushy, but it was kind of K-Tob a lot, actually, that was making a lot of those flank plays in the search and destroy. It just wasn't really working out for them. So I wonder if maybe they sent 2 through this game. They just really try to kind of mess with the Minnesota State Mankato players, because it has been a lot of damage for them that just kind of shuts them down consistently throughout this game, but nonetheless, Northwood University, they will be our first team here on offense, pushing towards the A site, and they have a very overwhelming amount of man advantage going over towards the site right now. If they can even find one and get this bomb down, it could absolutely be disastrous here for Northwood.
Here we go, chat. Let's get some hype for game number 5 in our series 2 of the night. Northwood, they get the bomb planted, but they took a heavy toll. It's a 2v4 with the time in their favor. Here comes the swing. They overwhelm Wine Dog. Smitzy gets a beatdown, and Minnesota State of Mankato. They're right back into this.
Well, that's not a good start if you're Northwood. We said that they needed to pick up this lane. And unfortunately for them, we see a 4-0 come in from Minnesota throughout. Another clean round. They're 4th in the series so far. But I mean, if you're a Minnesota State Mankato fan, that's exactly what you want to see off the start of this game. A lot of the kills that we saw there, it really opens up with them being able to find the flank kill right off the rip and just opening up the pinch potential onto that A site. We see it all the time on this map, but you really need to be watching your back and making sure you're not getting shot in it.
Yes, you do. Minnesota State of Mankato now on attack. Bomb's going to be going to the A side. I like this play from Northwood. They're going to run it down middle. They're looking to catch some good timing out of here, but Noah might be in the perfect opportunity to shut this down. He's going to find Alex. The stun's going to be out. Is going to get some information on the rest. And you look at the disengage from Minnesota. You're going to double back. Look to get here, but Slushy beats them to it. Noah loses the fight in the staircase. Things have completely turned around here. Now Northwood in the driver's seat. Things are going to slow down immediately as Minnesota, they really need to go back to the drawing board on this round.
It's not over completely yet. They can still try to make a wrap towards either one of these bomb sites. With the way that the map is looking, obviously they don't fully know yet, but definitely that A site looking a little bit cleaner than trying to push this back over towards B. And if they can catch one of these two players off guard as they're trying to get aggressive here, they can really start to bring this round back, make it a 2v2. But nonetheless, Spire Up, he should be able to push up and get this bomb down, and it's just going to be Mammoth's job to try to watch over him. And you can see nobody on Northwood is moving. They are just waiting for this bomb to go down before they want to make their move.
As soon as it does, it's out to the races. Information there. Mammoth's going to give it away. Look at the reinforcements here. Minnesota putting a lot of emphasis inside the lockers. Make sure that they can force Minnesota or Northwood into their gunfights. Here comes Northwood. K-Top finds an opening. Mammoth's gonna fall. Now Spirit all alone and not ready for the gunfight. A little bit of damage on there. 57 HP. The cleanup's gonna be out and an easy defuse from Northwood. There's a big bounce back round here. They get themselves on the board and tie us up.
Double defensive rounds. So far, so good for these two teams. And Northwood, like you said, they bring it right back into their favor. And it's a tough one there, but you got to think that if Syrup was able to just find one there, Spirit, if he was able to find one and just get away with his life, it makes that round a lot more difficult. There was only around 20 seconds left to get the defuse. If he can just play time, maybe take a shoulder peek. But for some reason, he was just sitting under the bottom of lockers, in the thick of it, just wasn't ready for the gunfight, it didn't seem like.
Back onto attack here. Northwood got shut down at A this time. It looks like they want B. And you see Minnesota's adjustment to this round is they're going to send 3 players over to the A site, leave Mammoth all alone, where he's actually going to come out on top with a big one over Slushy now. Northwood again at a disadvantage when that bomb goes down. You got 45 seconds in your favor. Can you burn this clock? He's going to be flying right out here. I know he's going to be there. Alex takes the gunfight, but Mammoth for the trade. Now the collapse from Minnesota. They're going to overwhelm these players out. Play for the trade battle. And K-Top, I don't even know if he's going to expect them to hop this bomb right away. Spirit should get this defuse before anything can come through.
Oh, he almost caught that timing to be able to do it, but they just get the defuse off before they could finish it off. So defense still continuing to hold strong here. And it's really this kill from Y-Dog that opens it up for Spire to be able to get in, get on that bomb. Like you said, I don't think that they were ready for that to be able to come through as quickly as they did. The important part in that round, though, is K-Top. He stays alive. He's still on that 3 streak. Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath here. This is where love but expressed. Sometimes in the pit,
things get dangerous. Smitzy spots them on the cross, gonna deal some damage, chip away at these Minnesota players, and allows Slushy to clean them up. They line up for 3. A quick round for Northwood.
I mean, what do you even say at the start of that round? Slushy just holds strong on the right-hand side here. He doesn't even have to do anything. I mean, yeah, he finds all 3, but they were all so weak from his teammates shooting them in the backs and the sides. Just a perfectly played round from Northwood there on the defense. It's going to put 2 of their players now on 3 in a row, trying to find some streaks, and another Northwood offense pushing towards the B site. It really seems to be the site they favor, and only 1 player over here now for Minnesota State, so the retake this time through, it's going to be a lot tougher. You can see what they're going to try to do is spread this out, put 4 players all around, and try to set up a big pinch on all the players on Northwood in the back.
I think this is the best chance for retake we've seen out here. 4-on-4. Minnesota have them trapped in. Now here it comes. That stun's gonna land, but Wideout decides to back on up. Spirit winning a big opening on that side, but Northwood fighting from the inside out with the bomb down, and they're winning their one-on-ones constantly. You see Spirit trying to pull this one back. A one-on-one. K-Top tucked away the staircase. The Diamati's gonna push right into his sight lines. Northwood find another round now. 2 in a row for their side. This is a big combination, and now that Northwood started to pick this one up, Express is a little bit crazy here.
It's the first offense that we've been able to see one out here so far as well. Yes, but he just got a little bit too aggressive there. K-Tub, he had every idea in his mind. He said, you know what, I feel like this player is going to push through. Let me just push back, sit and hold my line. He does. He wins the round. And now Northwood was the ones looking so rough for them. Find their 3rd round of S&D. K-Top finds streaks. He's on 6 in a row. If he can find that cruise missile, and they win another round out here and are able to go up 4-2, you got to think that it is going to be playing right into their favor.
Oh, K-Top, that shrieks. Spirit's last alive. He's going to walk right past him. A free win for Northwood there off that last one. 4-2. 3 rounds in a row now for the Wolves. As this is getting a little bit chalked here for if you're looking at the opposite side.
Man.
Minnesota State of Mankato, the 2-0 start to the series. Now 4-2 down in Express. You have to battle back. You don't want to give up map point here on Express.
We said it, that the likes of Northwood earlier on in the series, they needed to hit that regain button. Now if you're Minnesota State, Mankato, you need to find a way to reset here. You just need to find a way to play it. The tough part is with K-Top having those streaks, it just opens up so much potential on the A site. If there's players who are kind of in a position that could annoy the plant from Northwood, they can use the streaks to shut them down. If they get the bomb down easily, they can use the streaks to shut it down. And once again, streaks, they're going to be called in. Haven't been able to find anything yet. He's going to try to bend it in, but nobody was home.
Off screen, though, Alex is going to take that shot punch right onto Wydog. A 4v2, his bomb's going down. Spirit looking to rush it down the top of the lane. Not able to interrupt this bomb plan. It's going to go down. Now trapped away Northwood. 5-2, folks. I hope you got your brooms out for this.
I love that usage of the streak, by the way, Colin. I was saying it at the start there that they can use it to push players off the site, and it's exactly what they do. It opened up so much room for the bomb to be able to go down on the A site for absolutely free. He hovers the cruise missile just above. What that does is it forces all the Minnesota State Mankato players back to have to kind of play back to hold their life so they don't die to the streak. Once they try to avoid the streak, it was easy enough there for Northwood to close it out.
Off the start here, bombs down on top. That is troublesome if you're Mankato. Top line, Alex, it's a big nade now. 1v2. Can Mammoth be the player to hold them in there? Beautiful shots now. Able to cut this down into 1v1, but bomb down in front of him. Smitsy's gonna get in the ticket booth, and Minnesota stay alive. Mammoth turns up.
Needed that round if you're Mammoth, and we don't get to see it at the end. Unfortunately, that 2-piece, huge to close that round out. He finds the last 2 in a 1v2 and gets the round. This is going to be a tough comeback here, though. Needing 4 rounds in a row from the likes of Minnesota State Mankato. They've gotten one. They need 3 more to bring this game back.
It's going to be a climb. 1 round at a time. White Dog getting into the station. Actually, some good timing onto Alex. His first blood snaps over to the second one. 1 and 2 for White Dog. Completely shuts out Northwood inside this round. And you can see that the arrows, they're going to be collapsing on in here. Pack of Wolf mentality. The shot punch, not enough. Bomb goes down. They know their win condition. Slushy walking into enemy territory. And Minnesota State 5-4.
Feels like in those last 2 rounds, Minnesota really realized what they were doing wrong throughout the first couple, and it was just not enough aggression out of them. They were trying to bring the same mentality that they had in that raid, search and destroy, where it was just take the map control, win the gunfights, take the rounds. That's really what their recipe for success was, and they were kind of playing it a little bit too slow. Now in this game, they're starting to bring it back. They're starting to kind of play back into their favor. Once the pace picks up, it seems to favor the likes of Minnesota State Mankato. If they can really kind of pull this one back and force us into a round 11, I really think it's anybody's game.
Northwood.
This is super split offense.
Oh, Slushy spots it. He's going to dip. Oh, but they're all going to flood into White Dog. He had no idea that's bombed down, Jesse. No one trying to pull this one back, but the reinforcements are going to be there. Spear ups around the backside. He's going to find Smitzy, a 2v2. Leaves us even. Very disconnected are both of these players. Bamit is going to put Slushy down. 1v2 for K-Top. He's got the SMG, and he's got the bomb down now. Rotation around. Spot Spear up in the back. Information both ways, so should be the call for Bamit to go pick this one up, and even more, putting some more shots down onto K-Top. Just stay down. Don't go back up.
Both AR players still left alive here from Minnesota.
Oh,
I was going to say they can try to work the bomb plant down over towards B, but you're right. They read the play perfectly, and we said they needed to win 4 rounds in a row, Colin. It's been 3 out of 4 now for the Minnesota State Mankato. You were calling for the Brooms to come back out. It might be time to put them back away as we head into round 11.
Threw in the towel too early. I should have learned from your mistake earlier.
You never throw the towel in.
Never count them out. Now let's go. Round 11 in the pit. Alex got the AR. He spots them out. Nades. Mammoth gonna dodge and wave with K-Top on the opposite end. The trades back and forth. They find a second one that's bombed down right in the middle. White Dog gonna claw themselves back in this with the AR. Gets in behind. Spear up to double down now. 1v2 for Alex. Can he clutch up? He's got both of them right in front of him. He knows he can do this, Jesse. Spear up gets the shot off. White Dog knows he can follow this one up. In Minnesota State, they make the comeback. They shut down Northwood, and they eliminate them from a playoff opportunity.
My hands are on my head. I mean, I'm in absolute disbelief. I said it at the start. I thought Minnesota State had a very good chance to close this game out and to be able to come back and bring it in. They went up 2-0 in the series. It was looking so good for them. Then Northwood, they bring it back. They start to claw their way back in. I started to get a little skeptical. I started to feel a little bit nervous about my call. Let me tell you, when they went down 5-2 in that last map, I was not feeling too confident for Minnesota State Mankato. But they brought that back so hard towards the end of that series that 4 rounds in a row of search. If that is not the true definition, Seymour, of it is never over until it's over, then you need to go watch that map back over and over again.
How was that game 5?
Guys. That game was crazy. I can't believe we came back 4 rounds in a row. Like, it was just nerve-wracking. Absolutely.
I bet you guys are on cloud 9 right now.
Shook. Yeah, I'm like really shook right now. It was awesome.
They are not sleeping tonight anytime soon.
I got a feel though. What was it? What brought you guys back in that game 5? Because you guys brought the ice.
Yeah, so we just focus on round by round. You know, just slow down, think what we gotta do, just focus on our routes and all that. So strategies came in huge there.